Now, live from your local news source, this is ABC 27 News at noon.
Good afternoon. I'm Taylor Tashev in for James Crummell. It was a busy night of celebrations and disappointments from this year's midterm elections. All eyes were on Pennsylvania last night as the winner of the Senate race could determine the control of power in Washington. Democrat John Fetterman was able to pull out a win despite fears after he suffered a stroke right before the primary. He was able to win with 50% of the vote over his Republican challenger Mehmet Oz, who had 47% of the vote. The Fetterman campaign celebrated in Pittsburgh last night, declaring victory just before 2 a.m. this morning, thanking his supporters, saying no community deserves to be left behind.
We bet on the people of Pennsylvania, and you didn't let us down.
Many thought the wait would be long, but after Fetterman was projected to win, Republican Mehmet Oz cut his event short. Supporters flocked to Bucks County to cheer on Oz, who spent a lot of time crisscrossing the state to try and garner support, which Oz was thankful for.
I have told you many, many times that I believe in you. Traveled all over the Commonwealth to make that message clear. Tonight, you have told me that you believe in me. And bless you for that. Together we will hear.
Fetterman's spokesperson confirmed to ABC News that Oz has conceded the race. In a statement, Oz said he wishes Fetterman and his family all the best, both personally and as our next United States Senator. Adding, Pennsylvanians showed up with a passion and a vision for a bright future that I found inspiring every day. With all eyes on Pennsylvania for the open Senate seat being vacated by Pat Toomey, will John Fetterman's win help Democrats keep the Senate? Here's what the new Senate looks like as of right now, with 46 Democrats and 47 Republicans. Still with a few races to be called. One party needs to get 51 seats to get a majority. Taking a look at those races, a big race between incumbent Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and his Republican opponent Herschel Walker in Georgia. It's still a very tight race that could lead into a runoff election next month. Moving into Arizona, incumbent Democratic Senator Mark Kelly is currently leading his Republican challenger Blake Masters. And in Nevada, Republican candidate Adam Laxett is leading incumbent Democrat Senator Catherine Cortez Masto. In Wisconsin, incumbent Republican Ron Johnson is just barely leading Mandela Barnes in what's almost a 50-50 race. Moving into the congressional seats, with all seats up for grabs, we begin with PA's 10th congressional district, currently held by Republican Scott Perry, who's been under scrutiny from the FBI and the House committee investigating the January 6th insurrection. Perry was facing Democrat Shemaine Daniels, a three-term member of the Harrisburg City Council for the seat, which includes all of Dauphin County and parts of Cumberland and York counties. This one has been called for Scott Perry 54% to 46%. Another Republican congressman hoped to fend off a spirited Democratic challenger. Lloyd Smucker is the incumbent in the 11th congressional district, which includes Lancaster County and part of York County. He was up against Democrat Bob Hollister, and once again another Republican incumbent keeps his seat 63% to 37%. The 9th congressional district includes a lot of northeastern PA as well as Lebanon County. Republican Dan Muser went into Election Day seeking his third term in Congress, facing Democrat Amanda Waldman of Lycoming County. He cruised to victory by a 70 to 30% margin. Control of the House seems to be leaning Republican, although there are still over 60 races in many states still yet to be called. One party needs 218 seats for a majority. Pennsylvania hit a few roadblocks yesterday, mostly minor, one major, as millions took to the polls to make their voices heard. The biggest issue was in Luzerne County. 44 polling places ran out of paper ballots and, through an emergency petition, had to extend their voting hours until 10 p.m. Acting Secretary of State Lee Chapman says her office will have conversations with the county to make sure that issue doesn't happen in future elections. Besides those issues, Chapman thanked the tens of thousands of poll workers who endured long hours to ensure Pennsylvanians could vote.
We also had a handful of typical Election Day incidents at individual polling places in other counties, such as a few polling places opening late, power outages, and a gas leak. They were quickly handled. In a very dynamic environment, Pennsylvania once again executed a free, fair, and secure election.
There was also another issue before Election Day. 11 counties reported missing signatures or incorrect dates on some of the returned mail-in ballots. The names of the counties that were affected are expected to be released in the coming days. Pennsylvania has also chosen a new governor. PA Attorney General Democrat Josh Shapiro ran with a solid lead all night. With 55% of the vote, he will be the next governor of Pennsylvania. Challenger Doug Mastriano currently sits at 43%. Shapiro held his celebration party last night in Montgomery County with his lieutenant governor running mate Austin Davis. This marks the first time the Commonwealth has had back-to-back Democrat governors since the 50s. Davis is also making history as the first African-American lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania.
They want a real opportunity for good schools, safe communities, and an economy that just gives everybody a shot. No matter how different our Commonwealth looks, those are the basic values that every single Pennsylvanian has a right to and that I'm going to fight to deliver for.
Shapiro's Republican opponent, Doug Mastriano, has not conceded the race, saying he'd wait until every vote is counted. Speaking to a crowd of his supporters, Mastriano says this movement isn't going away and he's not giving up.
And what the people of Pennsylvania say, we'll of course respect that. And so we're going to stand together, though, in faith until every vote is counted. And then we look forward to celebrating with you. And so,
despite the results, Mastriano still treated the night as a celebration. Stay tuned to our next half hour for results in PA's state races with newly redrawn districts. We also have a full list of election results on our website, abc27.com/election.